Good morning, everybody. It's a Monday morning, July 29th, 2013. Time for another edition of Weber This Week here on FingerLakes1.com. It's at 9:30 in the morning on a Monday, so we hope that you're tuning in. And today, without further ado, we have a longtime friend of mine, the legendary, I call him the eccentric billionaire, Norm Sharman, the owner of Silver Creek and many other enterprises. Without further ado, it's good to have Norm back. My good friend, he brought me a free hat, and that's why I'm wearing it today. Norm, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Free is always good, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah, I like that free stuff. You handed me a hat. I was over at Opus having a cup of coffee, and I like to advertise the fact that I got a free hat. So we're going to be talking to Norm for the next 20 or so minutes, talking about his business, how's his golf courses doing, what's his mood about the game of golf, and we'll get his pick on the PGA, too, and a whole lot more. Norm, it's been a tough year, and of course, Jimmy Senecropi being the director of this show and being on the board of directors of Seneca Falls Country Club, he can write volumes about, in my judgment, I'm 68 and a half. I got to think this could go down as one of the worst summers that we've had as far as the oppressive heat and the miserable rains. Agree? As far as the rain goes?
It's definitely been a tough one, but I think like we were talking earlier, boy, there's been a lot of areas that have had even worse weather. You get past Syracuse, they've had courses are closed, and but you know, golf is it's a lot like farming. You know how you end up with $1 million in the golf business?
Yeah.
You start with 2. Right, Jimmy?
Now let's talk about, for the folks that don't know you, and that'd be amazing they don't, if you ever stopped over at Silver Creek, he's the host, and he does it all. He greets you with a smile, and his staff greets you with a smile, and it's always a great experience to visit Silver Creek. Norm, talk a little bit about your background so the folks that never didn't know who you are. Tell us where you came from, where you went to school, and how you ended up in this region.
Wow. You know, originally from Quebec, Canada, so hockey and golf has been our life, and that all comes from my father, Graham Sharman, who bought the Big Oak in 1979.
Wow.
And that's my brother bought that 5 years ago after prior to my father passing. We came to America in 1967.
67.
And actually back then in 1967, the Canadian dollar was worth like 7 cents more than the American dollar. I don't know why I thought of that. But then I went to Oswego State, where I met Carol and moved down to Long Island. She's from the Bronx, and sold golf course equipment. My dad had the Big Oak, and then in 1994, almost 20 years ago, we bought Silver Creek.
So
that's
you're
in a nutshell.
Coming up on your 20th anniversary.
Yeah, 20 years. Hard to believe. Actually, kind of a milestone this Friday. The Waterloo Rec, the Bill Luce tournament, will be 20 years at Silver Creek, and that was it started in 1994. So Jim Speen and crew have done just an unbelievable job. Raised a lot of money for Waterloo Rec, built a new building, and now to support their to support all the programs. There's quite a few people to thank there, but.
Well, certainly. Now, talk about, not only do you own Silver Creek, but you also have another operation, do you not?
Yeah, I was dumb enough to do that.
And the name of that course is?
That's Crooked Pines. It's in Macedon, just outside of Fairport.
And how's that been doing?
You know, it's been up and down, I think, just like all golf courses, but I've got a new guy running it under Clarkey. We got to get Clarkey in this conversation,
That's right.
Don't we?
He's a legend.
Yeah, he sure is. He's done just a wonderful job at Silver Creek, and he's trained a guy for us up at Crooked who's just doing a great job, and the greens are beautiful, so I invite everybody to come on up. We got to get you up there.
Oh, I'd love to play there. Sometime you
Jimmy,
and me.
we're not taking Jimmy. He always beats me.
Well, he's a lot better player. He's
good.
like a 6 or an 8, and I'm like a 22. So it's I try to build some strokes. Listen, talk about golf in general. Since you've been a part of the Silver Creek phenomenon since '94, you've seen a decline in golf. We talked about that before we went on the air. You attributed it to other interests involved. Talk a little bit about where golf is going right now as far as participation.
Yeah, you know, I think there's just so many things available to people, and there's so many outside things, you know, as far as the economy, time, families. But, you know, I guess bottom line is people are going to embrace their passions. And we're seeing quite a few younger kids playing right now. We got a ton of ninth graders that are playing. And they are, I think, and Jimmy and you can remember back in our days where you just went and looped the golf course all day long, grabbed a cheeseburger, kept going.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing. And what a wonderful place to have these kids. You know, I mean, they're at a golf course. They're learning the respect
Yep.
of the golf course, respect to the other players, respect to the adults there.
Sure.
So, but getting back to it, I think there is a decline, but I think there's been a decline in a lot of things. It's just a tough economy out there.
Yeah.
People put gas in their car and food on their table. It's difficult.
And it's not only the money, it's the time. People have to economize their time.
Yeah, they do.
And so if somebody lives around here and let's say they buy a boat, they gotta want to get their money out of their boat, and you really can't do both. You can't own a boat and get in golf. And seriously, golf. You can play in a tournament here or there, but I'd like to think there's folks that like to golf 2-3 times a week, and it's a regular part of their summer. But
sell that boat.
Yeah, sell the boat, and sell the bike. Stop getting in those triathlons and marathons, and come and just play golf.
Yeah.
Right.
But and there has been so much on the decline of golf, and there's too many golf courses.
Right.
Blah blah blah. But I am encouraged by the number of young people that are playing, and I think, once you play, you just love it.
I know. It gets in your body. Yeah.
Yeah, because you get out there in the evening or morning. It's fantastic.
Your junior golf program is doing really well, Norm,
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes,
a lot of kids.
Yeah, we probably have about 40 this year.
Wow, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, Mart Van Kirk and John McCulley, call them both coach. They're just great guys, and that's going to wrap up this Wednesday, and have some hot dogs, play a little tournament, and have some fun.
That's the name of the game. Norm Sherman's with us, longtime buddy of mine, the owner of Silver Creek, and also many other enterprises, which he won't discuss because he likes to keep his portfolio to himself. But he's been a longtime friend of mine. We've had a lot of laughs. I used to play in a chamber tournament with him. Talk about a legendary group. Myself, Norm would invite me over. Norm, myself, Cliff McCann, the guitar playing, singing dude, and Bob Oakes. That was a lot of laughs, wasn't it, for years?
Oh,
my God, it was hilarious. We'd go out there, and Norm would see my grip and go, "How do you possibly hit the ball?" I said, "Once in a while we do."
I tell you what, you can smash it.
When I hit it.
That goes for all of us.
But and you had the snap hooks when I played with you. You
Oh,
always
I
seemed to
still do.
play bad when I had you as a partner in the
Yeah,
tournament.
figure that one out. Not enough beer, maybe.
That's right. Norm Sharman, a well-known character in the area, the owner. And, of course, the thing I always liked about Norm when I first met him, and I'm not trying to blow up your head, Norm, because I'm sure your wife gives you adulation all day long about what a great guy you are. But the thing I always was impressed when you took over there is when I went to Silver Creek to play, it was always greeted by a smile at your front desk, and it wasn't put on. It was genuine, and you were genuine, and your family was genuine. I got a chance to meet your family. Of course, your kids are a lot bigger than the last time I saw a few of them. The point is, you embrace the community, you embrace the tournaments, you really want people to have a good time, and you go all out, and you make sure your staff goes all out to make that a great occasion, correct? That's what you do.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I think it's I've grown up in the golf business,
Right.
and if you met my dad, he was a very unique individual, and if he could have made golf free for everybody, he would.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just the truth of the matter, because he just loved it, and it's a privilege to be in the business, and it sure beats working.
That's right. And like you said, you talked about the Loose tournament, but you have tournaments that come back every year
We
that enjoy
do.
the experience.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of benefit tournaments. Matter of fact, we just had the Danny Wright tournament, and Allison Wright runs that, and that's for Camp Good Days, which is just a fantastic organization, and she has a lot of passion for that. And her goal this year was to raise $10,000, and she's close. So I'm just going to put this out there. Anybody's got some pocket change or whatever,
nice.
Please get hold of Allison, and it's just amazing what she's done.
I think I saw on Facebook they're just looking for about 500 more to reach that goal.
Yeah.
So
maybe we could charge a little extra at the toll booth.
We already do, according to some people. Some people think it's free. Now, talk about your staff. Give some kudos to the people that work the desk for you and over there. Give me some names downstairs that help you out over there.
Yeah, we've got a great crew. I mean, Gary Millard's been with me
forever.
For a long time, and George Jennings, Tommy Beatrice, Sully.
You have some legends.
Yeah, we have Keith is working for us now, and our ground staff, led by Clarkie, though, is it's always an experience. It's always, you're never quite sure what's going to happen next, but he has a tremendous passion for keeping the course beautiful, and we sure appreciate that.
Well, I remember, Clarkie, way back when at Seneca Falls, we were playing Twilight, and they were forecasting a big downpour coming up. And after dinner, we migrated out to the bar. And all of a sudden, look out the window, and we had had dry weather like 4 or 5 days preceding this. And all of a sudden, the skies open up, and it came down, I mean, like no tomorrow, like we've had the last few weeks around here. And I was standing next to Clarkie, and I was going to play the next day, and I said, Clarkie, oh, man, we're going to go kart pass. He says, dog, not to worry. We need this rain. I remember that, Jim. We need this rain. It won't affect the course. And the next day, it was beautiful. But it's amazing how you go several days with nice, hot, dry weather. You can use some rain. And
it dries out fast. You start to get that sunshine, a little bit of wind.
But you know what? With the rain that we've had this year, it's amazing. It just keeps on coming.
It does. I couldn't believe it Sunday morning. We got
You were telling me.
another inch of rain or so, but, that's just the way it is. What are you going to do?
Listen, you mentioned your dad. I had a chance to meet him. Talk about what he taught you as far as the game of golf. Whether you and your family.
Well, I was his only unsuccessful student. Let's start right there. No, he was a tremendous golfer. Yeah. I mean, especially back in the Capital District area of Albany.
Okay.
He played in a lot of tournaments. I've caddied for him. I've seen him shoot 365s. Maybe it's just, and he just loved golf and loved everything about it. Mm-hmm. And, just quite a man.
And I can imagine as well. And, of course, I think it's wonderful that you come from the family-oriented side of it, and you certainly have dedicated yourself to make it a pleasant experience at Silver Creek. And we got to get our buddy Steve Wadhams to come over and play with us someday.
Oh, man, that guy's busy, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He's just around the clock. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's even running the Chamber of Commerce now. I don't know how the guy does it.
Yeah, he was just at the Chamber of Commerce barbecue, dog, that we were at on Wednesday night.
And by the way, Jimmy was in the nomination for business there and got nipped out by my buddy Rod Littlejohn, right?
Yeah, congratulations to Dr. Littlejohn.
That was a nice event put on by the Chamber, and that was at Knapp Wineries.
Yep.
So that was a good experience, too.
Well, you guys have done a lot for the Finger Lakes area. I mean, this is, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful area. I mean, our summer, typical summer in the Finger Lakes, like I tell everybody, I don't think you can get better weather. Nope. Usually, this is just strange. But it's strange all over the country. But you guys put it on the map here with, just talking about things. And
well, Jim does a great job of bringing in all types of, with all the podcasts that he has. He's got a menu of 12 or so.
Yeah, those chewed gum guys. I'm not sure about them. They're awesome.
We put explicit language warnings on there.
Oh, they're fun.
Of course, fun. One thing I never checked out is the healthy cooking one because I still like my cheeseburgers, but
gotta have it.
I know. Now, as far as the kids go, are they heir apparents of the enterprise have taken over? For the golf business?
They got their mother's brain, so they're all set. No, Ben he's working with Constellation Brands.
That's great. Nice.
And so he brings his mother a scratch and dented wine, so he's in good. And Kathleen's a teacher in Pittsford, and I have a junior, Nathan.
Now, what does she teach, the daughter?
She is a geology major from Geneseo, and she teaches earth science, chemistry, physics.
Look at me, come on. I can't even spell the word.
No,
the word
me
physics.
Neither, dog. I tell
that's
you.
Impressive.
God bless him.
Impressive. I tell you what.
I had a question. I was kind of thinking of things I wanted to ask Norm. I mean, of course, we see each other all the time. I've played golf together. But,
he has to bring that up again. He beats me every Canal Cup. Him and Perot, he has to bring that up.
I only think it's been once or twice over, 10 or 12 years. And,
I still remember.
The very first Canal Cup, I think we played against each other individual.
Yeah. We did,
and we came down the 18th hole at Seneca Falls. Yeah. I think we were tied.
Up by 5.
No, I think we were tied. I think I won that hole. I think you might have hit one out of bounds that hole, but it did.
Snap hook.
But that was probably about 10 years ago. But what I wanted to ask was, every time I play at Silver Creek, there's certain shots and holes I look forward to. What's your favorite hole on your course?
I guess it's default, but I just love number 12.
Playing the down the hill.
Yeah, from the back tee especially. We've been using that a lot more. Mm-hmm. The Steins, Mark and Cliff Stein helped me so much with so many different things, but that was one thing that just came out absolutely beautiful, and every once in a while I hit the green.
That hole 12, when I was probably 10 or 11 years old, I hit it to about an inch. I'll never forget that shot. That was one of those shots as a youngster that get you coming back, that you think, wow, golf is great. I almost made this hole in one. I don't even know if it was a good shot, but it ended up really close to the hole. But my favorite hole on your course is 13.
Yeah,
That's a
I
tough
love
one.
13.
Got to hit a straight drive there, baby.
Strategy off the tee shot. I mean, you can hit a driver and try to push it down next to the creek, but if you go too far left, you're going to be blocked out. Woods to the right. So normally you'll hit maybe a 3-wood or a hybrid, and then you have a fun shot
Right over the.
anywhere from 50 yards to 150 over the creek. I like 13 a lot. How about you, Doug? What's your favorite hole?
I like 15.
I thought
Coming
you were going
off
to
the
say
hill.
the dungeon, the 19.
Oh, I like that
There you
one
go.
too.
That's a
Okay.
good one.
I like 15, driving from the top of the hill.
It is. The old Bunker
When you-
Hill.
fun
When
tee
you
shot.
aim for that tree on the top of the grass there, out in the fairway,
Yep.
that's my aim point. Of course, I usually block it right or
Yep.
snap it in the woods.
Been there.
But I have always loved that hole because that second shot, to me, is a difficult shot as well, unless you crush your drive. But I got to tell you a quick Silver Creek story. I'm playing with Diamond Don Brazillo
Oh, yeah.
and Johnny King, and I can't remember my fourth. This is going way back when. And believe it or not, Diamond Don had to give me a shot on the back nine, and I don't know how it worked out, but it was 18th hole it fell on. We were playing dollar, 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 and Diamond had the pipe in his mouth. He had always a legendary pipe in his mouth. And we tee off number 18, and I hit it straight for a change. I'm back of one of those hills as you come up the hill there. If you're at the top of the hill, you can see the green.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back off it. And I'm looking at the shot, a little breeze in our face, and I was carrying this forward. And once in a while, I would hit it straight. Once in a while, I'd hit it bad, but I decided to hit it. Diamond Don had a layup down the hill below the creek for 2. I took out this forward, sun's in my eye, singular, and hit the shot. And I remember seeing it go over the hill toward the green. I crushed it. Bill Sullivan and his wife Lou are walking to the first tee to play. And they see this ball bouncing up at 18th green. Bang! Double eagle.
No kidding.
Double eagle. Silver Creek.
Boy,
Got the
that
ball to
is
prove it home.
rare.
Double eagle. Diamond Don gave me a shot. Yeah, I go up to the hole, grab it, yell down to him, pipe in the mouth. Diamond, can you beat a 1? True story.
A
True
1 is
story.
good.
Never had a hole in 1 in my life. Double eagle at 18th. And Bill Sullivan watched it.
That's
Saw it come
awesome.
up, bang.
But that's the thing about golf, though. I mean,
Amazing.
It's not. I mean, a lot of us, most people don't, play
Yeah.
particularly well.
No.
If you want to rate well, I don't know how you rate well.
Yeah.
And actually, it's kind of funny thinking my wife. She never played golf, and
Right.
20 years ago, she'd work in the pro shop.
Right.
And then one day I come walking in, and she says, "Does anybody play well?" And I go, so I'm looking. I go, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know? She goes, well, when they bring their car key back, I said, I just asked them, how'd you do? And they go, oh, terrible. That was
terrible.
lousy.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
I'm coming back. She goes, I said, yeah, that's what happens. So you make a couple of good shots, you have a good hole here and there, and thank God they come back. But
That's right.
anyway,
Well, listen, we're winding down to talk to Norm. We're going to take a break, come back with a few sports shots where I'll talk about a couple of topics that irritate me. A lot of things irritate me. But, Norm, before we let you finish your monologue here, get a chance to say thank you to all the people that patronize your facilities. And I want to give you an opportunity to say thank you to all the people that come out.
oh, we certainly do appreciate that. We've made so many good friends over the years, and they continue to come back, and certainly we appreciate that, and we hope to keep giving them what they want, and look forward to another 20 years.
Well, believe me,
That sounds like we should have a party, doesn't it?
we're coming up on your 20th anniversary. That's right. But I know you've done it well. You've got the right mixture. Like I say, I don't make this up because we're friends and you're on the show here. It's the fact that everybody I've ever been associated with Silver Creek under your leadership has been very hospitable. Down in the dungeon, the ladies or guys, they're just so nice to deal with, and they're just pleasant. And that's the experience I like to have. So.
Hey, I appreciate it. Now, I just also want to want people to, I want them to golf everywhere, but please stop over to Big Oak. My brother Dave and Maureen, they've just done such a wonderful job. My dad would be so proud of them. Mm-hmm. And it's just a great place. It's in great condition.
A little drier there than other courses too. That
that's
course drains well.
Yeah, that's got some nice sandy loam, and but they've really it looks great, and it's just a great place.
I got to tell you one thing about Big Oak. Those trees have grown up, man.
Oh, yes, they have.
I remember playing that course under the lights.
Yeah, isn't that something?
And those trees were small.
Yeah.
You could get away with shots. Today, forget about it.
Oh, no, there's sequoias.
Every
there now.
time I drive down there, the back road into Geneva, I look at the size of those trees on the first hole. I go, wow, how they have grown up. This is Weber This Week. My good friend Norm Sharman has been able to join us for the full half hour. We're going to take our break and run down the great sponsors that make this show possible. We need sponsors, baby. We'll come back with a few closing shots on the world of sports that kind of brought it to my attention this morning. Welcome back, everybody. It's Weber and Weber This Week. This is the Dog H. Weber. My friend today, Norm Sharman's been with us. He'll come in with a comment after I do a few shots. Ironically, my shots involve two of his beloved people, Tiger Woods and the Bills. Let's talk about the Bills. Ironically, Norm is here, and I just thought, here we go again. Are you ready for Sundays at the Ralph? Let's talk about a couple of stats. 13 years, no playoffs. Norm follows stats. 8 years in a row with a losing record. Come on, Buffalo. You got to give the fans of Buffalo a little bit of salt. Just something. You only need an 8-8 record this year. We'll have a celebration at Silver Creek. We'll serve you ice water. The whole point is, folks, how many more years of pain can Bills fans tolerate? We got a new coach, Doug Marrone. They went for the cheap. I like Doug Marrone, and Jim Senecrobe thinks he may surprise us as a head coach in the NFL. It'll be interesting. They have a new general manager, Watley, a young kid. Good for him. They got a new guy running the show, Russ Brandon. We got to have an 8-8 at least this year. I don't know how you Bills fans continue to endure the pain that you do every Sunday. And oh, by the way, the move of taking E.J. Manuel, Florida State in the first round, speculation, controversial. Could it be the flop of the century, or could it be a great move like an Andrew Luck? Most people who follow the game of college football had Manuel fifth best quarterback to come out. The Bills picked him in the first round. Stupid? We'll let you know in a few weeks as the season gets ready to roll. How about you Yankee fans? I saw a guy come into a party I was at yesterday with a Sabathia shirt on. 3 straight outings, 7+ earned runs. Are you serious? They're paying this guy $24 million a year? I could get something better than that. Now they've got 2 players on the Yankees making $51 million. Druggy, a.k.a. A-Rod, $27 million guaranteed. Sabathia, $24 million guaranteed. How would you like to have that payroll? Let's move on and talk about the Newark Pilot baseball team. I had a chance to go over there with my wife, Mary, along with our good friends Sandy and Gene Lopez a couple nights ago. Spectacular. Don't have to tell Jim Senecrobe about what a wonderful, hospitable place. Newark Pilot Baseball, Colburn in Newark, New York. Check it out. It is a fantastic evening. By the way, tonight, doubleheader starts at 5, and they're going to be playing tonight. Glens Falls, 5:05. The concession stand is even better than the dungeon at Silver Creek.
Playoff berth on the line for
and
the Pilots.
Playoff berth, and you're right. And I find it ironic. We're going to get to Norm and ask him about his pick for the PGA coming up. Starts a week from this Thursday in Rochester, New York. I got to take a shot at Tiger. Yeah, we all know Tiger's a multi-billionaire. But all you moms and grandmas that are checking out, and you get kids like myself and Norm, when we were little kids and we started swearing, what'd your mother do? Dragged you by the ear, brought you into the bathroom, and put soap in your mouth. Enough, Tiger. Enough already. I'm from Little Seneca Falls, born in Alliance, New York. You know that you're the #1 player in the world. Why do you continue? Why do you continue going God D? You can elaborate on what the D means. Why do you yell out the F word that rhymes with truck? How many more times as I, as a viewer with one good eye, going to hear you scream those expletives? It's enough already. You're a billionaire. You got a great-looking girlfriend. Lighten up, Tiger. And don't tell me you don't know there's somebody standing 4 feet with a microphone. You're the number one player in the world. They're going to pick up the sound on PGA tournaments, let alone the majors. Come on, Tiger Woods, show some class. And as far as the commissioners go, they don't have a hair on their butt because they would be setting them down for detrimental to the game of PGA golf. Yes, Tiger Woods is a fantastic player, but he's got a potty mouth, and all of that has got to come to an end before I go to heaven. Norm, let's switch over since I badmouthed Tiger Woods.
Oh, you're the best.
Let's talk about the PGA. You mentioned Tiger. What do you say? Who do you like in this thing?
First of all, the Bills are rebuilding. You do
Good.
realize that,
13
right?
13 years, baby.
We're
Keep talking.
rebuilding.
13 years. Go on.
You know, I kind of, I don't hate to, but I got to go with the favorites. I hope Tiger, Phil,
Yep.
and I just love to see Rory break out.
I know.
I mean, the kids would go, I mean, it's just, and he's
Amazing.
going to, you know, it's just a matter of
He's got
when
too
and
much
where.
skills. Too much
Yeah.
skill. And you'll
And
be
it-
at the PGA, too.
And then maybe Hunter, if he's not changing diapers, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we got to say this. But wait a minute. We got to get this in before we go off the air. You mentioned you would have gone home with the bride and had the first baby, correct? Or would your bride told you to stay and make the million?
You know what? In this case, Carol would have said, no shot. You stay there. Yeah, absolutely. Make the money.
Jim, would you have gone home for Kathleen?
Well, if I was Hunter Mahan with all the endorsements and previous wins, he's got millions in the bank. I may have, but if I was fresh off of Q school, you know, going week to week, sleeping in my car,
Right.
I think I would have stayed. And you know what? If he had stayed and even come in second or third,
Yeah.
he's got the kid's college fund paid for before he's even born.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out the dog on this camera. What would you have done, huh? If you're a female checking me out, would you have told your husband to stay and play? You're leading the tournament, $1 million first place prize, even though you got $20 million in the bank. How about another $1 million? Or would you have said, "Come home right away. It's our first child." You make that call. I'm trying to think of what Mary Dog, my wife, would have said. Are you crazy? Stay and play, baby. Pick
Well,
up the check.
It's interesting, though, that, you know, the way golf works, the storylines and the individuals. If Mahan plays well at Oak Hill,
Yep.
that would be part of the story. He would be a fan favorite.
That's right.
So,
That's
you know,
right.
and look forward to him. I'd like to see an American win. I'd like to see a big
Yeah.
name win, whether, you know, Mickelson coming off the British Open, Hunter Mahan,
Yep.
Dustin Johnson's
Oh, yeah.
playing well.
Snedeker, like to see
Brand
Snedeker.
Snedeker might be the
Yeah.
best player in the world that, you know, nobody really talks about too much outside of the world of golf. Everybody knows Tiger and Mickelson, but Snedeker's pretty good too.
They asked Snedeker about that putting stroke, the slap.
Yeah.
He learned it in Tennessee because the greens were slow.
Is that right?
Yep. He said, how'd you come up with that putting stroke? Bang. He said, when we were in Tennessee, the greens were very slow. You had to hit it.
Just slap it.
And that's how he got it. Well, folks, it's always a lot of slice. Thanks again, Norm, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hey, you promised me you'd give me a little Bill Clinton. I love that. All right. Hey, by the way, we're going to stay on golf next week. A legend, another legend. This is a younger legend. Nick Serafino will be on the couch. Nick Serafino comes back to the area. We hope to have Nick here next week on Weber This Week to talk about his career, and obviously it has gone skyward. So Nick Serafino, I need not introduce you to him. He's a good-looking athlete, and he's a great guy and a good family
And
man.
a guy who honed his game at Silver Creek.
And he honed his
when he
game
was
at
growing
Silver
up.
Creek.
Waterloo High School.
Exactly.
Head pro at Seneca Falls Country Club and for almost a decade, and then on to Lakeview in Syracuse.
And by the way, we got all these topics. Gino Frappoli, 77, breaks his age by three shots
Isn't
at
that
the
fantastic?
Creek.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So my neighbor of 23 years on Green Street, where he still resides, Gino Frappoli, my longtime neighbor, right across the street, his wife Phyllis, we wish Gino the best.
we do.
Congratulations. Beating his age by 3 shots.
Awesome.
What are the chances of the dog doing that at 68? Not. Well, front 9 maybe.
Another
certainly
10 years.
happened.
Another
Yeah.
10 years.
All right, guys, take care, everybody. It's always a slice. Thanks for joining Weber This Week. Thanks again to my friend Norm Sharman. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you next week for another edition of Weber This Week here on FingerLakes1.com. Until then, enjoy your week.